Hey guys, and happy Valentine's Day! I actually don't know when I'm filming this if this video will go up on Valentine's Day, but if it does, happy Valentine's Day! I love Valentine's Day. It's one of my favorite special days of the year. I just love the whole idea of Valentine's Day and the whole atmosphere, and I love seeing people walking down the street and on the bus carrying flowers. I think that's so cute. I don't usually like all of the romantic and mushy stuff, but I really love seeing guys carrying flowers down the street. I think that's one of the sweetest things to see. Always makes me feel happy on Valentine's Day when I see that. So happy Valentine's Day. Today I'm going to be trying out the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop Full Coverage Foundation. I am pretty excited to try this. I know a lot of people really like it, so I'm hoping that it'll work for me. I will be doing a wear test as well. I don't think I'll be here for the final check-in. I'll be at my parents' house, but I'll definitely check in after around 8 to 10 hours to see how the foundation is holding up. It is freezing cold. My whole apartment is freezing. We're in a deep freeze. Well, not in a deep freeze because it's not even cold compared to Winnipeg, but it is kind of cold here right now for Vancouver. It always happens to us in February, and I think actually it's supposed to snow today, so that kind of sucks. Also, I have a new friend in the background. I just picked up this plant. Well, not just. I picked it up over the weekend, and it's Friday today, but he's new. She's new. He's new. I don't know. It keeps switching. I keep calling it he, and then sometimes I call it she, so I don't know. I haven't even picked a name for her yet. Hope you guys don't mind the background. I'm gonna switch it up a bit. I don't think my aloe vera is really liking it over here. It's getting kind of droopy. I don't know if that's normal for aloe veras, but I feel like she's getting a little droopy, so I think I'm gonna move her to a different location and put a different plant here, but hope you guys don't mind the plants in the background. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and let's go ahead and get started. I have the shade Natural in this foundation, and I am going to apply it with a sponge because I feel like it's going to be quite thick. So I'm just going to apply it with my NYX sponge. I also picked up, well, I haven't got it yet, but I ordered the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop Pressed Powder Foundation, so I am going to test that one out as well. This shade looks like it's going to work for me. It's almost a perfect shade. I think it might actually be a perfect shade. For once in my life, I picked a perfect shade. So reading off the claims of this foundation, actually, there are no claims on this bottle, so I will just have to see how it wears. I haven't actually looked too much into this foundation. NYX is one of those brands where I kind of pick and choose. I do like their lip products, and I like their setting spray. I feel like NYX has a lot of hit and misses. I do own their Total Control Drop Foundation, which I do really like. I haven't worn it in a while, but I did really like that foundation. So we'll see how I like it compared to this one. Okay, that is one layer. I did about 1.5 pumps maybe. It's definitely looking matte on my skin. It's mattified my skin pretty well. There's no shine. You can tell the shine on this side versus this side, maybe? I don't know. It didn't really cover. I have a huge pimple right there. I'm gonna apply a little bit more right on that pimple, but it didn't have the fullest coverage, but I am using a sponge, so you have to keep that in mind. If you use a brush, you'll definitely get better coverage. It doesn't look heavy on my skin at all, and it seemed to have blended out pretty evenly and easily. Just going to do the other half of my face. It doesn't have a smell, which is nice. I don't actually like foundations that have too heavy of a scent. I think it's always better when they don't have a scent at all. It makes me a little worried that it's going to break me out if it does have a scent to it. I really like the way that it applied on this half of my face. That blended out super nicely. Coverage is really nice. It looks flawless on my skin. It doesn't emphasize texture or anything. I think this looks really good. I don't even know if I need to apply a second layer. I don't think I will. I think that looks really, really nice on my skin. I really, really like the way it's looking right now. This holds up throughout the day and doesn't get super oily or start looking heavy on my skin. I think I will really like this one. This is one of the nicest looking matte foundations that I've tried in this series so far. It has a nice medium coverage with a sponge, but I also feel like it shows just enough of my imperfections that it doesn't really look like a foundation. It kind of looks like my skin, but my skin just looks perfected a little bit. I'm not always a fan of matte foundations. I think lately I kind of have mixed feelings about it. I definitely prefer dewy foundations as long as they don't get greasy on my skin throughout the day. I do have normal to combination skin. When I find a good matte foundation, I really like it. Like, it kind of makes me miss wearing mattifying foundations. I am excited for this. I think this looks great. I'm going to apply the rest of my makeup, then I will show you what else is on my face and wrap up the first part of this video. Just finished applying my makeup. It is currently 11:30 in the morning. I think it looks good. I actually really like the way that it looks. It looks pretty flawless on my skin now that everything else is on top of it. Just to let you know what else I'm wearing on my face, the usual stuff. The Charlotte Tilbury Magic Away liquid concealer. I just applied it directly under my eyes, a little bit around my nostrils, a little on my chin and the center of my forehead. To set that, I used my Milani Prep Set and Glow powder. To set the rest of my face, even though I don't think the foundation needed it because it had dried down pretty matte, but I did apply the Wet n Wild Photo Focused Pressed Powder. Blush, bronzer, highlight is all from the CoverGirl True Blend Serving Sculpt palette. Lips are the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Liquid Lipstick in the shade Matador. I thought I'd go red today because of Valentine's Day, even though I don't know if this is gonna post on Valentine's Day, but I just felt like a red lip today. So that's my entire face. I did not set it with a setting spray yet, but I think I will because I kind of want to bring a little bit more, I don't know, glowiness to my skin just because it's looking kind of matte for me. Like, it's not looking totally matte, like it's a nice healthy looking matte, but I think I want to spray it a little bit. I barely have any left, but I think I want to use the Rimmel Fix and Go 2-in-1 setting spray. I do think that looks a bit better. It's blended into my skin a little bit more. Thoughts so far, I really like it. I think this looks flawless on my skin. It blended in really easily, had a really nice coverage. I think you would definitely get more with a brush, but for sponge coverage, it was really nice. It doesn't look heavy or cakey on my skin at this point, and I really can't think of anything negative to say about this foundation. I think it worked really well for me. I have very high hopes for it now. I was like hesitant about this one. I don't know when it's gonna come up in Foundation February, but it's one of the last first impressions I've done filming for this series. I just kept putting it off because I thought it would be really heavy and cakey on my skin, and I just am not into foundations that are like that, but I'm pleasantly surprised by the way that it actually applied and looks on my skin at this point. So I'm gonna carry on with my day. I have to do laundry today, and I am going to clean up around my apartment a bit, and I also will be going to the mall with my sister in the evening, so I'll do a midday check-in and then I will film at the very end of my night. But yeah, I am excited. I will see you guys later. Bye. You guys, so it's currently around 3:30 in the afternoon and this foundation has been on my face for about 4 hours. I have noticed that it's starting to look a little bit heavy. My eyebrows look crazy right now. It's starting to look a little bit heavy around like my mouth area. I don't know why, but it's starting to kind of look more heavy on my skin. Like, I can see it now. It doesn't look as flawless as before. I don't know if it's going to get any worse than this, but just starting to look a little bit more textured on my skin, I guess. I think it looks pretty good oil control wise. It does not look greasy at all. My skin doesn't feel greasy, doesn't feel sticky or oily at all. I think it's held up really, really nicely. Shine wise, it looks pretty much the same as it did when I first applied it. It's not bad, it's not great. Not quite sure how I feel about it yet. We'll have to see how it looks at the end of the night. By the way, it did not really snow at all. It was supposed to snow. Every time they tell us it's supposed to snow, it never snows. I don't know why they can't just get it right. Anyway, I guess I will see you guys at the end of the night. Hey you guys, it is currently, let me check, it is currently 7:30 in the evening. So this foundation has been on my skin for 8 hours, like pretty much exactly 8 hours. I actually think it looks pretty good. I am kind of happy with the way it looks. It's looking a little bit textured on my skin. I think like I can kind of see it sitting on top of my skin instead of meshing in with my skin, but at the same time I'm like completely oil free. I don't know if the lighting in this bathroom is kind of showing my skin as greasier than it is, but just looking straight in my mirror, it's not greasy or shiny or oily at all. It's actually still very matte. So I'm super impressed by the staying power of this foundation. I think it looks really good. I wasn't really liking it midway through the day, like at the 4-hour mark. I thought it kind of looked weird, but right now I really like the way it looks. I think this lasted really well. I'll wear it to work sometime this week so I can see how it lasts for like a 12-hour workday, but I'm pretty happy with it. I think this looks really, really nice. Like I said, the only downside I think is that you can like see it on my skin. Like, it's a foundation that you can tell you're wearing foundation versus like very skin-like. So it's not a super skin-like foundation at all, but I think that's okay sometimes. Definitely one of the better foundations I've tried. I definitely like it more than I liked the Catrice foundation, and I also like it more than the Revlon foundation I tried. Also, I'm pretty impressed. I just ate dinner and my lipstick is still on my lips. Kind of, like it's wearing away a little bit, but it's basically still on my lips. So I guess I will see you guys in my next video. I think I'm almost done at this point. In like real time, I think I'm almost done filming all of my first impressions, which is exciting. But I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you would like to see more videos. And I already said it, but I'll see you in my next one. Bye!